Hallo allemaal. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the first edition of Ongehoorde Verhalen, and in English we say Unheard Stories. I'm going to talk in English because the people who are joining us tonight who will share the stories will be talking in English. First, I want to say that we work for Storytelling Center. It's a small organization here in Amsterdam. We use storytelling as a social impact tool, and we work with a lot of social minorities. And this is how this night was created. And I want to inform that the speakers tonight, they are not actors or practiced speakers. So they are real people with real stories, and that's the most important part. So please be humble for them and give them a warm applause. So I want to introduce first Tonette. And next is Anya. Leslie, please join us. Kikai, please join us. And last but not least, we have Alejandra. Can I please one more time for Tonette? She was starting the session, and please join us. Tonette.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Tonette, and I am from the Philippines. Hi, Kapil. At first, I thought I was going to tell my childhood story, but 2 weeks ago, something happened. A very sad happened in my life. So it's like the story I'm going to tell to you is about love and unconditional love. And also part of this is how my life here in Holland goes. So I met a guy, a Dutch guy before, and I had a relationship with him for a long time, years. But I broke up with him because all the promises and everything was just a lie. He just used me for his need. So, yeah, I broke up with him. So, when I broke up with him, I have nothing. I don't know where to go. And I'm lucky I have one friend already that time. And she let me stay in her house for a while. But at the time, I was thinking, how will I survive while I'm here? So I tried to find a job. I kind of find a black job. You called it here swart, but it was not enough for me and to support my family in the Philippines. So it happens that I become a sex worker. Yeah, being a sex worker is a hard thing. It's we do this like most of us did it against our will just to survive and yeah to get what we need and to support our family. Well, this that's man I met was he's a good man. He helped me a lot and only he's a liar. Most of my friends told me that I'm a smart one. But when it comes to love, I'm the foolest one. Yeah, and yeah, but that is me. So while I'm staying with my friends, I did sex work. And while doing that, I'm earning, so I try to find a place for my own. And then I find in Apeldoorn, and I live there. One day I was working. There's one client pretending to be a client, but he's a policeman. So I got caught. They said it's illegal to do the work. And the time my visa of stay was already expired. So they bring me to the police station. And they held me there for some hours. And an immigration officer came, and they want to deport me. But that time, even I want to go home, I cannot because I have a life threat in Philippines. And so, but this immigration officer asked me, did you ever try to apply asylum? And I have really no idea about asylum, that I can do that. And so after that, when I go back to my friend's place, I ask her what is this kind of procedure. And with her help, I met some other transgender who work in the LGBT community. And yeah, with the help of them, I find a good lawyer. She was really a good one. So I filed my asylum. And then it was really hard. And yeah, while I'm doing the process, I continue doing the sex work just to survive because the support from the asset say is not really enough. And I have obligation for my mom because my mom is an old woman and sick. She likes 5 years bedridden now. So I just did my sex working continues. And then one day, there's one client sent me a message, and he asked me, are you to net from the XCOM models? It's a kind of webcam adult site. Because when I was with my ex, it's what I'm doing to earn extra. So I told him, yes, it is the same to net that you know. And so I asked him, may I know who you are? And he replied, I'm your #1 fan in that site. And he asked me if he can come. And so I said, yeah, sure, as long as you're going to pay me for the hours that you will stay. Yeah, it's always about money. So he came. I was really shy because I known him for some years also. And he came very good and gentleman. So what I did is I just offered him a coffee and we drink together, talking about what crazy thing we did in the webcam. And well, it was really great. It's like he's the best client I had that day because he gave me amount. It's a good amount. And he said it's not a payment for you, what you did, but it's a help for me because I already told him everything about me. And so after that, because I gave him my place, address, he started visiting me, bringing flowers, chocolates, sometimes plants. And it was really good. I started to like him, but not to fall in love because of my past. And so one day he asked me if I want to go with him in Amsterdam because his company is sending him here for the work. And I said, yeah, sure, why not? And at the same day after his work, he bring me in Bloemendaal. And he knows that I love beach. Yeah, and it touches me a lot. And the way he cared for me there, it was really cold. He put me a jacket and everything. And I was very happy. And that time I felt I'm really falling in love. And I said, it's not good because he's a married man. So I tried to hide it on him. And then one day a problem came again. The owner of the house where I renting, they will going to migrate and sell the house. So I need to find place again where to stay. That time it's difficult because I have no papers, and mostly the landlord with us will ask for like job contract or salary slip. And he was there again for me. He said, "Don't worry, I will find a place for us." And then he find a nice let there by Appledore. And he was the one signed the contract. And at the first time, he was sharing with me with the rent. And but because it's like he knows that I don't like the work, he tried to let me stop, and so he keeps supporting me to pay that. And then one day, 2 weeks ago, his wife find out our relationship, and he need to decide actually, but I said, you don't need to choose. I said, I know already for the first time that you cannot be mine. So don't choose, just go. I let you go. It's very painful for me to say, because I feel that I have no right as to fight my love for him. So, and it's the only thing I can do for him in return for all the kindness that he did for me. So, yeah, I let him go, and it's still painful for me. And that's the end of my story, I think. Yeah, but I don't know how and when I can be happy again or smile. I still love him. And I miss him so much.
Or am I really lying here with you?
Thank you, everyone.
Baby, you take me in your arms, and though I'm wide awake, I know my dream is coming true. And oh,
Short point, and don't cry like me. I'm sorry, I'm just so still.
Thank you. Thank you. Hi everyone, my name is Anya and I'm from Ukraine. Of course you know about everyone sad news from my country. Of course it's so horrible to be Ukrainian. Now, of course you know about this absolutely horrible war, but I hope in a victory. And I hope that it will be victory not only in Ukraine, not only Ukraine against Russia. I hope that it will be victory of progress against conservatism. It's very personal war for me. And I want to describe, at first I want to say about this flag. It's mix from Ukrainian flag and flag of transgender people. And I hope that this war will be war with stereotypes and about LGBT people in Ukraine. So I want to describe some periods of my life. At first I want to say about my childhood. I was born in the eastern part of Ukraine. I was born in Donetsk. It's a big industrial city. It's city like manly men. And it was very, very difficult to be a transgender child. It's so, in the city with so strong characters. When I have been 3 years old, I recognized me as a transgender girl. It was very occasional. I just saw old Soviet animation movie about one boy who didn't want to go to hairdresser, and after that became a girl. And that time, and I understood that it's maybe story about me. After I decided that I'm already a girl. Of course, my parents thought that it was only behavioring. All of my childhood, I tried to wear female mommy's clothes, use makeup, but of course my parents were rather angry. And when I have 8 years old, I understood that if I decide to be a transgender woman, I would take only a lot of problems. I can take only pain, poorness. I knew that life of transgenders, it's in post-Soviet countries, it's absolutely horrible life. And after that, all of my life, I must be hide. In 2014, Russia became the invasion. Russia caged some Ukrainian territories, Crimea, also Donetsk. And my family, we were not very rich family, but maybe from middle class. But my family lost everything, and I also lost everything. And that time I understood that maybe I already had the possibility to not be hide. After 1 year, I became to speak with another transgender people, and next year I spoke with one transgender girl from Kiev. We decided to meet, and when I have been on this meeting, I didn't see the girl, but I saw only a group of transphobic guys. It was fake dating. They became to beat me, but it was absolutely horrible. It was so much blood. I thought that they want to kill me. Next day I went to the police, but police officers only laughed. They asked me, maybe you are a pedophile? It was really humiliation. After that I understood that I must still hide. But I knew that I'm a woman, and it was so strong dream to be a woman. And after I became a hormone replacement therapy, I changed my location, began to live in another city, but I was trying to wear female clothes. I was trying to use makeup, but of course you know that after 1 or 2 months of hair appearance was not so feminine. And for me was very dangerous to go to the street in any time. After 1 month, I have been in the street, and some guys came to me and became to beat me. It was horrible. After I tried to become healthy sometimes. I tried to date with men, but in any case, it was absolutely horrible experience. I was raped 2 times. In 2020, after the COVID epidemic, I decided to resume my hormone replacement therapy, but I was absolutely sure that I would haven't a possibility to be an open transgender in any period of my life. And only after the new invasion, that February, and the time I haven't been in Ukraine, I have been in another country, and only after that time I understood that I haven't the possibility to return to Ukraine. And one my good friend, transgender girl from Russia, proposed me to go to Netherlands, and I went to this country, and only here I took a possibility to be a open transgender woman. I took a possibility to use female clothes, use makeup, and took a full normal life. And I want to return to the beginning, to the question of the war between Russia and Ukraine. I hope that this war will change the minds of Ukrainians. I hope that my country after this war will not so conservative. I hope that this war will be war with stereotypes, with LGBT phobia and transphobia. And I'm absolutely sure that we will take a victory. Ukraine will take a victory, and Ukrainian people will take a victory with transphobia and LGBT phobia. Thank you so Leslie, do you want to share your story?
That's why I came for. Hello everyone, I am Leslie. I am a transgender girl of 26 years old, and I come from Cuba. When I was thinking what I wanted to say today here for all of you, I was thinking, looking back in my life, like what I would like to share. And suddenly I just start to realize how far and how much my life has changed. I don't know if some of you will rely on my story, but everyone will have different ways how to face life and the pain that come within. First of all, I would like to tell you that I was a brilliant child, but also, yes, but also I was like a very feminine and very soft child, for what I got many punishments from my father, because he wanted that I be that man that he wanted. But at the same time, I was very good at the school. I was very good with my friends and was very friendly and social and open. And I always wanted that people come play with me and that they come talk with me. But with years and passing over, I realized that people, even children, we are all interest and materialist. Many childs from my neighborhood, from my school, they came closer to me many times for getting the homework or a school project or to play with my toys or because, I don't know, they needed something. But in the end, when I didn't have anything to offer, nobody was there to play with me. Nobody was there to talk with me. Suddenly, that man, when I was 10, 11 years old, that man, so sexist and masculine, that was my father, he broke up with my mother. They divorced, and he moved to the US. When he left the country, I just felt the freedom and the release of now turning the person I wanted to be, because I really understood like something is not okay in the natural binary way that the society imposed. I decided to start with my hormones at the age of 15, thanks to the support of my mother, because she always was there for me. When I start to see the changes on my body, that my body became more feminine, and I start to get breasts, and my voice, it remained low, you know, I was like, okay, this, I am liking it. I am feeling good with who I am right now. When I thought that everything was going right with my mother and my grandmother in Cuba, my father, he sent me an invitation to go to the US with him. I asked to my mother, what should I do? Because he's still thinking that I am that boy that he left here in the country. So my mother told me, if you want, you can stay. If you want, you can go. It's your choice. And something very personal, Cuba is a country under a dictator, so it's not a free land, and we cannot say what we think or do what we want because we belong to the government. I wanted to be free, totally, and I chose to leave the country, but with the idea of covering my appearances with loose clothes, for my father could not see my curves or my breasts growing up, and then I just hide the small hair that was growing at that time under a hat. And when I was there, living with him and my brother, I realized again that being with him, I could not be the woman I wanted to be. For after a year living in the US in freedom, in ecstasy, I took the hard decision to go back my land, to go back to Cuba. Because I said, my mother supported me fully, my grandma too. I will go back there. I prefer to live oppressed, but be who I want to be, than living free and living hiding, a fake life. I remember that I went back, and the first thing I did after I came back was, for me, the second step in my transition and the more important one, that was getting rid totally from my male clothes. I gave that clothes to my cousins, to the neighbors in my neighborhood, and suddenly at that moment, because I was coming from the US with all male clothes, all my neighbors, they like me, even though I was that feminine and that, soft person and stuff that behind me they call faggot. Well, hey, how are you? Are you back? What you bring? That was the thing. Well, when I changed totally, I became to do my life, to meeting people, having relationships, showing myself how I was, and then the new friends and new people I was knowing, they were knowing me for who I am, who I was in the moment, not who I was before. Even like that, I continue seeing that people is still interested. That even though I am showing and being totally natural, they always see through what they can get, what is behind you. I was a political activist on my land, so I really speak up for the freedom of my people, because we don't want a communist system there anymore in the country. What made me to become prosecuted by the police, and more because my father, he left the country for the same reason, because he also was prosecuted by the police. Well, I had to flee, but I didn't know where. What could I do? If I go back to my father and I face that dragon, I stay in the country and I go to jail, to prison, or what should I do? Go to a new country where I don't know no one, where I have no family. I couldn't go back to the US, even though I tell the truth to my father and I say, hey, this is what is happening with me. And at the same time, people is coming after me. Maybe they kill me. I don't know. He told me, okay, okay, because it's life or death, I will bring you here with me. But when I came back to the embassy, they told me, it is closed, you cannot go back. I was really so fucked up. The police were looking for me every day at my home. I was hiding in other places until I gained the way to buy a ticket to come into the Netherlands through sexual work. That many times is not what we want, but it's the only chance, the only way out that we have to fix our problems. When I gained that ticket and I came here to the Netherlands, then I faced another problem that was becoming, changing from one person to being a file here in the Netherlands. I suddenly became a paper in the IND desk. I didn't have any more right or to speak up, to say what I wanted, or to move wherever I wanted, because I had to stamp at some time. I had to wait for the IND until they wanted to take my case, and it's certainly desperating. It takes all your energy and all your hope out from you. At the same time, I met many wonderful people that they are here right now with me, thanks God. And I met very nasty people too. People that they tried to steal my bike, that they just scream to me faggot and homophobic people. And when I went to the COA or to security or to the police, that I said, like, I came here to seek for security and be who I am. Why these persons that I'm coming to complain, they tell me, we're just here in charge that you have a roof. So don't complain to us, deal with it how you can. Very awful. That was the new impression I was getting from the Netherlands. When finally, they decided to give me a decision, I got a negative. I couldn't stay here anymore. My process was done. But what happened? I had to face then a second choice, very important. Or staying here illegally, or going back to my country and going to jail. For sure, I decided to stay here, even though I was without a status. And I had to leave the AZC. I went outside to the street, looking for a place, a shelter, or someone that could take me in, but I didn't know anyone in here. Until I found a place very nice in the Vondelpark, under a tree. It was really cozy, I swear. You know that people, that they are on the central station or sometimes behind, that they are in sleeping bags and they have broken shoes and they smell bad and all that stuff? I was one of them for more than 4 months. I got my bag stolen. People came in the night and they took out my shoes. And I had to fight and run from the police many times because they said, like, hello, we are from, you cannot hear slappen. And then I said, like, okay, I'm moving. But I didn't want it that they asked for my ID because I knew that they're gonna deport me. I just moved. I sleep in Central Station, in Alkmaar Station, in Den Helder, in Vondelpark. And it was really awful. It was really bad. Finally, after a year, I could get a shelter, a place where to stay. But I needed anyway how to support my own needs, you know, my cigarettes, my food, and my stuff. And I came back to do sex work here in the Netherlands, illegally, because I didn't have the status, and I also didn't have the permission to do the sex work. So taking double risk. But thanks to that, I could survive, and I could be here where I am right now. With that money, I got a lawyer, and that lawyer was so amazing that he helped me to go through a second asylum process. And after being 1 year again in Terapel, waiting for my second interview, 2 hours after I got that interview, I got my papers. Luckily, it was such a release and such a happiness that I had my papers again, that I was legally in here, that I said, now I can start my life. But no, it was not like that. My life went down. I went into depression. because I saw that people that were closer to me, they came now because, oh, she can work now. Oh, she have now papers. I can get papers through her. Of, oh, I need this from her. She already got it, so she can show me how. But was never like, she's a nice person. She's good. She's strong. I don't want you to be ashamed or feel sorry for me. I want you to value what you have in front of you, you know? I went down in depression, but anyway, I moved to Amsterdam. I found a way to get a rent and get a work now. I have 2 jobs. I go to school, and I have a beautiful department here in Oost. But anyway, I feel empty. I don't feel I have any more that connection with people. I don't feel that my life is with light anymore, or hope. I would like one day I could look back and being again that sweet children that was just so anxious to give everything without getting anything back. But I know it will not be like that again. Now for me, everything is like a transaction. I give you if you give me. I help you if you help me. Because nothing comes in this day from heart, at least not from mine anymore. I got cold, and many friends of me told me many times, why you behave like this? Why you are so cold, so distant? Why you became so greedy, so arrogant? Even they call me sometimes a bitch, you know? But I tell you something, I am a bitch. I am agree, and I love it. I love being a bitch. You know why I do love it? Because being a bitch, nobody hurt me. Nobody can lie again to me. I just put my walls up, and the world can fall down after that walls. Me, I don't care anymore. Thank you for hearing my story. I would like to continue, but I cannot anymore. Even though I don't get sad, but I really feel like there is not anymore that emotion to know a new word, to know a new person. I just see actions and transactions. Thank you very much for being here tonight. Well, let's stop talking about me. Even though I love it, I would like to hear what my friend King Kai came to say.
My story is different, kind of different. It's for about my family. I am Kikai. I am born in Philippines. Yeah, and I live in a small village in the Philippines, which is Lopez, Quezon. Yeah. On growing up, I am a smiling gay boy. They call it the Philippines, because I don't have a breast that time, so they call me gay boy. Yeah, and yes, we have a happy family. My father is a farmer, and my mother is a housewife, and we have 4 siblings in the family. So one of my older brothers lives in Ireland, and my other brother and sisters in the Philippines. So family is happy in the Philippines, and one day my dad passed away, and it's so much hard for me because I am more closer to my father more than to my mom. And when I remember the time that my father is too much drunk, and he came over to my bed, and I pretend sleepy that time, and he kind of whispering some words to me that remarkable to my mind, And that time, that kind of words, they said, I am the strong man. I am the responsible son. They call son because they thought that I'm gonna be man one day. Yeah, but I'm be a woman. Yeah, yeah, that's it. Yeah, 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 that's it. And so it's so sad to me that terrible happened to my father. Died with a heart problem, and so on. And years by, um, me I go to Manila just to look for a job and study as well. Yeah, the life is also the same, uh, very nice. But as a teenager, as a man or as a gay people, you kind of have experience like having a drugs, also do a sex worker. Yeah, in the Philippines, sex worker is not famous. They call boy or call girl. They call in the Philippines. And also, I went to the people, the bad people, they doing a gamble. So I went to them, and then I play while I'm earning to the sex worker, and I go to the gambling. So it's not good for me. Yeah. But instead of being doing like that, I still have to look my family in the Quezon, in the Lopez Quezon. So I try to help my family together with my brother in Ireland. So the equality help to provide to our family, it's nice. And one day I decided to go and work abroad. I tried to go Singapore and Thailand, and then have a work there. So the life is so much fabulous for us because the two of us are working abroad, and it's easy for us to help to our family. Yeah, but one day my sister-in-law called me, and it's so much tragic for me. She called me while I'm working, and I feel like uh, why they are calling to me on that time. She called me because my brother in Ireland is 50-50. It means like she is in the hospital, and also same problem with my father. He is also a heart problem. So, and I said it to my sister-in-law. Yeah, I pray, and I think, and he will survive. But on that day, in just a few hour or not hours, my sister-in-law give me a video call, which is so much pain for me because seeing your seeing your brother on the dead body on the cam, it's so much pain because in myself, my brother is my partner in life. We are only the person who help our family together, hands on hands. But when I see my brothers dead, I feel the world in my head, and that's so much pain. I would love to go to Ireland because going to Ireland, it's not so easy. It's only 1 hour or more than 1 hour, yeah, to go Ireland. But being undocumented here in the Netherlands, it's very hard. So I am undocumented people, and I would love to go to Ireland, but I could not go. So I just only see my brother awake on the video call. Yeah. And by the years pass by, I make myself to be better, just work harder, and I even do double job. I make house cleaning here in the Netherlands. Maybe all of you they know Filipino cleaning in the house, so I am the one of them. Yeah, and I also try to look for the customer in the sex as a sex worker. So even yeah, I do that because I know I have a mother who also sick in the Philippines that need a help from me. So again, one day again, a month passed, maybe around, maybe like 4 or 5 months, and my sister in the Philippines called me and telling me that our mother is not in a good condition. Yeah. She is suffering a heart problem, same to my brother and my dad. She was like bedridden for almost 2 years uh, from the corona time. So my sister called me and she told me that our mother is cannot wait. I cannot open the eyes. So I feel like I don't know what I'm gonna do, because one thing I know, I don't have a brother anymore. That my brother always be there for me, that we can be together for this kind of problem. So this is only for me, because I know my sister just only support my family there, and I am the one to make decision. So I make a big decision for myself to speak with my mom, even it's not, even it's against for myself. I speak to my mom, and I tell my sister to put the earpiece to her ears, because my mom couldn't couldn't say and couldn't look, because that time she cannot open the eyes. So I decided to speak with her. My brother Richard and my father and my father, it's already died, and you can go if you are feeling tired, and if you can really think that you are really tired, don't worry, I'll be here to be support our family. Don't worry, I can promise you that I will stay here as long as I can to provide our family needs. Yeah, that is my story in life. Yeah, to have my family problem until I am now in here in the Netherlands, and I will hoping that the one words of my fathers and I promise to my mothers, I could do that in the future or this coming years. Thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you so much, Alejandra and Darren, here to hear your story.
Thank you. All very beautiful stories. And now my turn, right? Let me get up.
You know, I make jokes about you.
What?
You know, I make jokes about you.
What is it? I am nervous, but I will try to remain calm. And I will tell you a story that happened 22 years ago when I was a 17-year-old boy from a little village in northern Mexico. And the story I will tell you happened on the border of Juarez City with El Paso. When I was 17, I knew I had to leave my village because of cultural problems and also because of poverty. I am the oldest of 8 children in a very Catholic family, and my father was never around, and my mother worked a lot, but she could not make ends meet. And I knew, like, similar to the story of Kay, that as the oldest, it was my obligation or my duty to help my family. I had many relatives in the US, and they promised us that if I come to the US, they will pay the ransom for the smuggler when I crossed the border illegally. So we went to Juarez City and we contacted a smuggler, and in a hot summer day, around 10 people were waiting for the border patrol to finish their turn so we could go in. We run and we enter a sewage tunnel. And what I remember, it was that just after a few seconds or minutes, maybe a minute maximum, everything became dark, and the smell was horrible, and it was so sticky, and the water that in the beginning it came up to here. At one point, it came all the way to my thighs, and there were animals crawling on the walls, and there were also animals in the water, and there were really strange sounds. It was so dark that we could not see anything. The only thing is we kept following the people in front of us and the voice of the smuggler. I was really afraid that rain will come and that we will die. But I was also hopeful that I will make it to the US and that I will help my family. And it was that hope that kept me walking in the maze. It felt like it was an eternity to walk there, but it probably just was a couple hours. In the end, there was light, and it was because the smuggler opened a circle switch thingy, and he yelled at us to go up, and the 10 people, one by one, really fast, started going up. And as soon as we were in El Paso, everything was beautiful. There were beautiful houses with beautiful yards, and everything looked so nice. And I was also afraid that the police would come and take us, but it was El Paso and it was so warm that no one was in the street. A truck came in and they took us in the truck to a motel. We looked terrible. We looked so dirty, and I felt so disgusting. In the motel, while one smuggler went to buy food, the other made sure that the rest of us stay in and take a shower. When it was my turn to take a shower, one guy came and forced me to give him a blowjob. I tried to look very masculine, but obviously it did not work. So he found out I was gay or queer. Hours later, after we ate, the truck came back and we went through the desert. We went to the desert on the outskirts of the city. We had to go around the checkpoint. We walked for hours and it was really cold. And I had a white t-shirt, and the smuggler made me remove my white t-shirt because he said that the helicopters in the sky could see it. Hours later, around 5 a.m., finally the truck came back. We got in. We drove 4 hours to Albuquerque. In Albuquerque, again, we took a shower. They brought us food. And then the coyote asked for the people to call their relatives to pay the ransom so they can go. I called all my relatives, my uncles and my cousins in Wichita, in Dallas, in Memphis. And all of them kept saying, oh, call the next one, I don't have work, or no one of them wanted to help me. The next day, by a lucky chance, one of the smugglers went to buy food and the other went to the toilet to take a shower. And it is at this moment that 3 guys from Mexico City opened the door and simply started running. And then I started running too. And the coyote yelled at us to come back, but we didn't do it. I ended up walking in the streets of Albuquerque for hours, hungry, also feeling sick, with a migraine. I even asked for a ride to go back to Mexico because I really miss my mother. But it did not work. In the end, the police came and told me to go back to the city, and they suggested I go to the Salvation Army. There, they gave me food. And then I went to the bus station because I thought if my family is not going to help me, I want to go back to Mexico, to my mother, because I really miss her. When I was in the station asking people for money to call my mother, but also to get up to go to Mexico, I encountered this Mexican family. They came to bring someone to go to Dallas or another city. And they asked me what I was doing there. And I told them. And they started crying. The woman and the man started crying. And they felt pity on me. And they offered me to take me to their house. And they took me to their apartment, a teeny tiny place in which they were living. and they called the neighbors and told them my story. And some neighbors brought clothes, and another neighbor brought a $5 phone card. And back then, my mother did not have a phone in the village, but a neighbor did. So I called the neighbor. I knew the number by heart. I called the neighbor, and 10 minutes later, I called again, and I talked to my mother. My mother started crying because she thought I was lost. And I miss my mother so much. And this story ends there, but I'll tell you. This story is very emotional for me because back then my mother was my everything. But after I went to the US and I started sending her money, my mother changed. She became greedy and she started blackmailing me because I was different, because I was gay and later trans. And she started blackmailing me, saying that in order for her to accept me, I had to give her money. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody, for listening. It is quite intense. I've also felt the tension in the room, but I'm very happy that they could share the story with you. So please, one more round of applause for Alejandra. Kai. Leslie. Anya. Antoinette. Thank you so much for DJ Lady Deep. I have one final thing to say, and because we are a small stichting, there is a QR code next to the poster when you go out of the door. If you could make a small donation, we would be very happy. Thank you so much for this evening. And if there are any questions, we can do a small Q&A with all these lovely women here. Yes? Hello? Yes? Okay. Who has any questions for one of these ladies or for all of them?
Hi. I have no question for you, but thank you for sharing. The thing is that these stories are so important because here in Holland, everything seems fine and we worry about small stuff. And that you open up here and be honest and tell your story, it really gets me. And I'm so grateful that there is an opportunity to hear your story, because this is the world. You are the world. That's it.
Thank you.
The difficult thing is not to talk, it's about to listen. Not everybody is able to listen. So thanks to you all for listening.
Is anybody else has a question or a comment? No? From you guys here?
I have a question. Well, more a question, a request. I also have a donating fund, but it's for buying a 65-inch TV. So if you want to apport for me, that is also welcome, you know.
Thank you for that, Leslie. Thank you so much.
I mean, no one knows. The same Tunet got an admire. Maybe I get 2 or 3 from here. So.
Maybe it's not a question you want to answer, so please feel free not to do that. But I'm wondering, how is it for you to tell that to us here in the space?
you know, when we were rehearsing, it did not feel that emotional. And I had to tell you a secret. I don't see. So I removed my glasses just so I would feel more safe. But I don't know about the rest.
For me, I think I feel like 50-50, but since people encourage me to do that and I trust them, and I think it's nice to some people can hear our voice so that they can people know what we are doing. So that's more important that people are knowing behind of this person. So that's it.
I learned back in my life that I really don't care what people think about me because none of you pay my rent or give me food. But if I can make some conscience sharing about my story, maybe we are going to be better with someone in the future. Thank you.
I want to say thank you for listening, especially my story. And I want to say that your listening is very important because I spoke about the possible victory of my country in this war and victory against LGBT phobia. And I'm absolutely sure that if you listen my story, if you share my story to your friends, if you share story about struggle of Ukrainian people, of Ukrainian LGBT to another Dutch people, we will take more help. My country now need a lot of help because we have a really really strong struggle with the evil. Then I'm really respect you for listening and hope you can share my story to a lot of Dutch people. Thank you.
Your question is how we got the courage to share our story.
Yeah.
What we feel about sharing our story. Yeah, for me, even I think I told you that at the beginning I want to tell my childhood story. Most of it also is involved about love, and yeah, the story I told you is also about love. And for me, it's like why people cannot just share the love, be nice to each other, and never regret giving love, no matter the people betray you or something happen. Just be nice. That's why I feel sorry for Leslie. Yeah, not really feel sorry, but
I feel sorry for her. Because if she was a bitch like me, she don't fall in love and she don't care.
actually I'm the one started calling her bitch. But I learned this bitch in one series movie, Breaking Bad. There is one guy there that always saying the word bitch, and it's just like an expression. And well, the way she is a bitch, but for me it's a good one. And I envy her because she's so strong. And I feel sorry because the way the world changed her before she trusted Mats a lot, and now, yeah, changed. Yeah, distance, no trust. Correct. Yeah, that's it. It's the things and just how it is.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, one more question over here.
Well, all your stories were very impressive, and you had many monsters to face, not only about your gender identity, but living in your own country with many problems, getting here, in your family. So I'm still pondering about that, what it does to me. But my main question for all of you is, how can you persevere under these circumstances? How can you keep going on? What makes you be hopeful or, well, not give up on your own way in life? Perhaps each one of you could say something about that.
For me, it's for my mother. She's my everything also. And I did the sex work. It's also, most of I earn is for her. So the one who keep me hoping or do this or being far from them, I try to take it for myself because I want here in Holland I can earn good to help my mom. It's my that's the thing give me hope.
For me, for me, it's very difficult question because I didn't make coming out before Netherlands, and now the majority of my friends didn't know about me, and I'm absolutely sure that it will be very difficult to understand for them. Then it will be dependent of the of future. It will be dependent if I could possible to stay in Netherlands. I hope that I can say about this for my friends, but now it's very difficult.
Well, actually, even though I am who I am, I really love my mother, and I love my father too, even though they also lie, and they can be fake also. But I love them anyway. But my biggest fear is the day that I don't have them anymore. Because when I don't have them anymore, then I will be what I think it is, totally free. And I am afraid what can happen when I be like that. Because I didn't have to think anymore in no one. Because people from outside don't think on me. So why I should think on them? But going to your question, what made me continue on? Come on, look this face. Look this. And even though being homeless, I was cute. So why I should prive the world from this, you know? It's like use it, but don't take it, you know? Thank you.
Oh, that is so much difficult to answer, but I think for people like me as undocumented, for us it's so hard to think about that because we don't have freedom. The words of freedom means like we cannot go back to our home easily. When people are died there, we cannot see them directly, even just very close to us. It's so hard. And also for work, it's so hard because you cannot find the way work what you want. And only you have two choice. It's either to work as a cleaner or you work as a sex worker. For that, I think that's only way of living as undocumented like me. That's it. Thank you.
About what keeps you moving, right? Despite the story that I said, which is surprising to me to realize how hurt I'm still when I think of my mother. But back then, years ago, my motor to keep on moving was my mother and my little siblings. And now my little siblings, they are now adults and married and they have their own children. They turn out good, so I don't have to worry about them anymore. Then later it became my search for my own identity, pushing me to discover new things, to look for my freedom, the space where I can be myself. which I can safely say that in a strange way because I don't have papers yet. Amsterdam is that place. I have found here a community that's been very supportive, and they are my chosen family. So I think first it was my blood family that kept me going, and now it is my chosen family that keeps me going. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. We have another question over here.
Yes, I would like to thank you for your stories, first of all. And I appreciate the honesty, and also beyond the honesty of tonight, like that you guys are courageous enough to be the most honest version of yourself. And I was wondering, I think it's something that's quite hard to find your, like the real person you want to be. And especially in this society where we have the social media being able to cover everything. So where did you find, I was wondering whether you could share something of where did you find the courage to really be the most honest version of yourself?
I think there was no option. I think if I had stayed, let's say, living as in a boy mode, like as if I was a cis man, I would have killed myself a long time ago. So this journey of transitioning and finding myself, to me, seems actually that it was the only way to go. And many years ago, because I've been going through stages of depression, I heard a song that is like a thing in my head now. It said, every day is a new day, every day is a new hope. So every time I feel like I cannot go with the day, I just remind me of those silly lyrics, actually, from a song, and it's what helps me.
I think for me is the courage for myself is I don't want to give up. Yeah, because I have to look my family and also for my dreams that I want to be, and that path I think I like to go, and one day I hope I can. Yeah.
Where did I find the courage to be honest and be who I am? Well, if you mean about transition, I actually even didn't look for courage. I just changed, and I just didn't mind what my father or my mother could think, but I just was afraid from the reaction. But actually, I'm gonna tell you something. I really made a discovering when I start to being really honest on what I think and what I said. I know many people here that they have a fucked up job, or they go to school, or they have this kind of friend that is all time criticizing what you do or stuff, and they are just like, And me, suddenly one day, I don't remember when, but it was not long ago, I just wake up and I said, no, I will not say anymore, or I will just assent with my head. No. Hey, sorry, shut up, because you are wrong. Or don't talk about my life if you don't know about what I am saying. And I don't care, she's the boss. She's a bitch. Tell her that she owes you money. She's 2 days late with your payment. Oh no, because she's no. Why? You have your right. Why you don't speak up? Do I have to go there to protect you? How much you will pay me? So I think being honest with what we really think and what we say is really important. We can be sensitive and we can empathize a little bit with people, sympathize with people, but to just upset, to don't break other people's heart, no. That is not on me.
It's very difficult to say anything about honesty, but I want to repeat that majority part of my life I must be hide. I must be hide because nobody understands why I decide to be a woman. I didn't think about this. I only recognize that I'm a woman, and I knew this one in my soul, and now I spoke about war with transphobia and about honesty. I'm sure the main question it's question of LGBT youth in Ukraine. Now I hope that I am myself and some LGBT activists and this war also can help with in the war with the tolerance of Ukrainian people. I hope that LGBT youth and transgender youth will feel that more tolerance society, and I hope that young transgenders will haven't to be hide all of their life as I have been hide. I must be hide all of my life.
For me, honesty, I think first I need to be honest with myself. So I know who I am, so I'm not afraid to show who I am. That's give me the courage. And yeah, for transitioning, I think it's just what mostly trans women do. And yeah, just be honest to yourself, I think. That's the best thing. Yeah, thank you.
Thank
I
you.
don't want to be more longer.
Thank you so much. So thank you everybody for watching at home and also here for joining us. And thank you also. Oh, thank you. On the 11th of October, we have a nice other presentation. We have two theater makers who will work with the stories that you heard tonight. They probably will work together with these lovely women here. And there's another presentation on the 11th of October at Urban Resort De Vlucht, Broedplaats De Vlucht, bij Burgemeester De Vluchtlaan. And follow us on social media, Storytelling Center, to keep you posted and to follow our agenda. I want to thank DJ Lady Deep. And before you leave, please consider to leave a small donation for us. Yes? Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you. Commercial? Yeah, you make it. You may do a commercial. Commercial break, people.
So I have to tell you, on the 25th of October, my book, Die Waarheid zal me bevrijden, The Truth Will Set Me Free, will be published by Lebowski Publishers. So you can, I think we're going to present it at Scheltema, but we don't know. But you can buy it already. So, and please give me an honest critique if you buy it, because I really want to do a really good book. So, thank you.
What I read is great. Buy it.
Buy it. Yes.